Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So guys, a quick disclaimer, if you're having food, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever, please skip this video because there are going to be certain parts in this video that can be slightly gruesome. So guys, I was doing a very routine check of my succulents and I noticed that there were a couple of ants in my Ionium pot, and I knew that there is something wrong because visually I couldn't see any mealybugs or scale insects, but definitely there was some underlying problem. So immediately I took out my hand sanitizer and the Q-tip. I added few drops of hand sanitizer on the Q-tip and it was time to check. So now, to be honest, I have never seen or come across a bug or a pest like this. I've always seen mealybugs or scale insects, but I've never seen something like this. Now, by looking at this, what I could realize, now I'm not a bug expert or an insect expert, but I could understand that this particular bug has passed its larvae stage and it's now in its pupa stage. Basically, this particular insect was inside a cocoon. Now, basically, because it was inside a protective case, definitely the cinnamon powder is not going to be very effective because it has already put a cocoon around it, which means that it is going to be protected inside. So the next step, what I had to do is use the hand sanitizer to melt away the cocoon. Now guys, while I was doing this, I noticed that there is a small red color insect inside that. It looks like somewhat like a berry. I'm not very sure what exactly this pest is, but definitely it will cause harm to my succulents and I had to get rid of it because I noticed few of the leaves on the Ionium were getting damaged. They were getting discolored. So that's the reason why I had to do a quick check. So as and when I started cleaning, I noticed that these cocoons are spread everywhere on the plant, especially just below the crown area. So this is where there were a lot of these cocoons that were closely attached to each other, and it was getting really difficult to clean them up, but I wanted to get rid of them as much as I can. So as you can see, while I am dissolving, because when the hand sanitizer comes in contact with the cocoon immediately tends to get dissolved. It's basically like cotton, but immediately when it comes in contact with the hand sanitizer, it completely melts. And you can see this is how it tends to look like. I'm not very sure if this is blood or if this is some kind of a secretion from that particular insect, but it kind of looks like when you squeeze berries in your hand and you have that red color. Exactly, the color is really red. Again, I'm not quite sure what exactly is this pest. So if any one of you know exactly what this kind of pest is, please mention it in the comment section. We can definitely look and do a little bit more research about this particular pest. Now guys, what I'm going to do is I will try to clean off as much as I can. I'll try to reduce all the cocoons and then I will go ahead and cut off this Ionium, because I think that is only one of the best way I can try, because I think that it keeps coming back, because earlier I just had one cocoon on the main part of the succulent. I had to give it a cut, but then I realized that it still keeps coming back. So what I thought the best is to go ahead and start cutting off, do a stem cutting for this Ionium. So as you can see, as soon as the hand sanitizer comes in contact with the cocoon, that is like a cotton ball, it immediately starts to melt and exposes the insect that is there inside it. Probably it's in its pupa stage, but the insect is somewhat brown in color. Definitely this is not a mealybug, because mealybugs do not go into this kind of a cocoon stage. They usually are just these individual insects, and then they tend to just spawn outside the cocoon. They don't actually get into a cocoon or a pupa stage, but this is a slightly different kind of a pest and I'm not quite sure what exactly it is, but this is how it tends to look. It's kind of reddish in color, but when it tends to get destroyed, it tends to put out this red secretion that tends to look like blood, but I'm not quite sure what exactly it is. So guys, the next step what I'm going to do is I have tried to clear almost 90% of these cocoons have been destroyed on this Ionium. So now I'll do the next step. I'll just do the stem cutting, because I think that is the best option. As I said earlier, I had done a cutting, only one single stem cutting, which was infected with this particular insect or this bug. But later on I noticed even after chopping that off, it still started to spread on the others. So with the help of the hand sanitizer, I will conduct the next step of cutting the Ionium. So it's very important to sanitize the blade before you go ahead and do any kind of stem cutting for any succulents. Now guys, whether your succulent is infected with bugs or it's not infected, always ensure that you sterilize your cutting material, be it blade, knife, scissor, whichever cutting material you're using for cutting the stem or a beheading. Ensure that it is clean before you do a cutting. So while I was doing the stem cutting, I noticed there were a lot of ants. They were inside the soil, on the pot, on the stem, on the leaves. They were everywhere. So in order to deter them off, to keep them away from the succulent, I'm going to be using some dry cinnamon powder. This is just a very basic dry cinnamon powder that I'm going to be sprinkling all over the pot, even on the succulents for time being, and then blow off that extra cinnamon powder that is present on the leaves. But I will let the cinnamon powder stay on the soil, so that if there is any more ants that are present inside the soil, will also try to come out because of that strong pungent smell of cinnamon powder. So after cutting them off, it's much easier to clean them. You can see the pupa is still present, the cocoon is still present on the succulents, and you can see as soon as the Q-tip comes in contact with these cocoons, they immediately melt and tends to expose that bug that is present inside. Again guys, I'm not very sure if you are aware about what exactly this pest or bug is. Please mention it in the comment section. It will definitely help me research a little bit more about this particular pest. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to thoroughly check all of these cuttings that I have made. I'll have to check each and every one, and I'll wait for some time because we have just applied some hand sanitizer. It contains alcohol, it contains spirit, and it will evaporate. But during this period of time, whenever you're applying this hand sanitizer, ensure that you're not doing it under direct sunlight. Now guys, immediately when you're doing this, do not add cinnamon powder. Immediately wait for at least 4 or 5 minutes. That is enough time, because the hand sanitizer contains alcohol and it will start to evaporate, and then that part will get dried up. So after that, after 4 to 5 minutes, or probably you can wait for 10 minutes, and then sprinkle some dry cinnamon powder. Now the dry cinnamon powder is basically if there are any cuts, if there are any wounds, that will help in drying it up faster. Any which ways, we have done stem cutting, so it's always better to add some cinnamon powder, so that if there is any infection or if there is any fungal attack, the cinnamon powder contains antifungal properties, so it will fight it through. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some dry cinnamon powder. I will just sprinkle a pinch of the dry cinnamon powder, and I'm going to let it air dry for some time, and then we will just leave it in indirect bright light. Now guys, remember, we have done stem cutting. Please do not let these cuttings come in contact with any water or any moisture. So it has to be placed in a place which is dry and cool and is not in contact with direct sunlight. So it's been almost a month that we had done the stem cutting. It's time to check if they have rooted. So this was the initial head that I had cut. It already has roots. As I said, I always let my succulents air root before putting them into the soil. It gives me more of the confidence that they've already rooted and there is nothing to be worried much. So I let all of these cuttings air root. Probably 1 or 2 might have not rooted yet, but that's absolutely fine. Majority or almost 90% of them have air rooted. So it's time to put them into the soil. So while we are doing this, I will also check if there is any more infestation. I do not see any more infestation, which means that we have successfully got rid of that infestation. Now guys, this is going to be a new journey for these guys. So ensure that the soil is completely dry. Even though they have roots, we are not going to water them right away. We have to let them get adjusted to the new soil. The soil has to be loose, porous, well draining, and the container or pot that you're using for planting these should have a drain hole so that the water does not pool up into the pot and should be well draining. So guys, now it's the new journey for them. So it's time to put them into the soil. They already have roots, so nothing much to be worried. Again, the same protocol. We are going to wait for at least 4 or 5 days before we start watering them again. But until then, they are going to be placed in indirect bright light. Anyways, these guys are placed in indirect bright light, and slowly I will start exposing them to morning direct sunlight, but only after acclimation. Now guys, whenever you're acclimating your succulents, ensure that you do a gradual introduction. Do not immediately put them out in direct sunlight for long hours, otherwise your succulents will get burnt. Especially these guys, because they do not have a proper root system yet. They are still developing the new roots. So putting them out in direct sunlight right away will dehydrate them and cause harm. So ensure that you go very slow. Initially, for at least 2 or 3 weeks, you can keep them in indirect bright light and then slowly start introducing them to morning direct sunlight. Now remember guys, Ionium kiwis cannot handle too much of heat, so do not expose them to afternoon direct sunlight. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep propagating.